It's alive! It's time to fill up with some fluids. So everything's checked. I mean, I went over the whole car earlier today to make sure everything was buttoned up. So we basically need to add some fluids to it. I got some AMSOIL break-in fluid. I got a whole case of it. So basically the initial start, we'll run it for about 20 minutes at 3 grand. Drain the fluid, put in another set, and then see if we can drive it around a little bit, depending on how the tune acts up. So let's get that over with. We'll put 5.5. Alright, well, no leaks so far.
So suck it, Dad. No touching.
Come on, dude, no touching.
Okay, Ellie, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Ellie, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Blow a kiss. Blow it. Mwah. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Checking your oil. Isn't that what you're doing? You, that's not me. You already have that all over you. Come on, Ellie.
Alright, so last video got cut short because my little fuel station, Harbor Freight diesel pump, fried, so I couldn't film that, but I wanted to show you guys what my little station is. So it's the 35-gallon drum with the E85 because I don't have a station close to me. And basically I made this little mount for this Harbor Freight diesel pump to go in. Basically hooks up, has a cool little nozzle with it, hooks up to your battery, and then we got the baby on lock to shoot this real quick. So basically turn it on. Pretty fucking loud, and then just blow it up. That's pretty much it. Pretty neat little setup. Works for me. Alright, so I found one leak. Basically draining the fuel now. I probably shouldn't have pumped in as much as I did, but it's basically that fitting. It's not where you assemble it is where it's leaking. It's actually the part. It's leaking out of right here somewhere. the back of the coupler. Which is kind of shitty because it means I have to take that, get a whole new fitting, which I don't have. What I think would happen is there was an edge on this bung and it caught the fitting inside. Not sure if you can see that, but there's right here, there's this nick here. It's pretty deep, so I'm assuming that's where it's leaking from. Why'd that light turn off? Anyway, so I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's right there. Little groove. So basically what I did was grab this little file and just went around the edge to clean it up a little bit. Hopefully that's what it is, because I mean, I don't see why else it'd be leaking, because it seals from, the fittings usually seal from this edge and here. So if it's getting past this, then it's going into the threads, and then it comes out through the coupling that's inside this where the threads are. So it has to be that. So basically, just lightly take the file and get the edge off of that, or the burr, or whatever it was. On there. But there was definitely something there. So I filed it down some. Feels pretty good now. Alright, time to call it a night. Got that fitting back on there, put the ARP stuff on there. Thread sealer, it's good for gasoline, water, natural gas, good for steel, stainless steel, all that good stuff. So we knocked that burr off of there on that fitting, or the bung coming off of the gas tank, and then, you know, filed that edge down like I was showing you guys earlier, and then added some of the sealer on there, and then, you know, put it back on, added a little bit of fuel, because last time when we used this thing, for the 30 seconds that it was on there, we basically put in almost, come on, focus. We almost put in about 5 gallons, just that 30 seconds that we ran it for. So anyways, call it a night. So wife and baby ain't here yet. Got some time to work on it. Last thing I did was checked all the fuel lines for leaks. Got that taken care of. It's good to go. So now I got to set the base fuel pressure. I called up Weldon to see what the proper procedure was on that, because the pump uses a controller and there's 2 modes on it, so I got to make sure which mode to set the pump on. So basically they said to switch it on race mode and turn it on, adjust the pressure till about whatever the stock is. For me, I think it was 46 on my last tune. So let's do that. So the AAM is pretty much connected to the car. Just need to flip on the main power, and then switch on one of the port that the race port is on, or the pin, activate it, and then get the pump going. So let's do that. Alright, so now we basically want to just turn on the race port a race pin, I guess, which is LS11, I believe, and we're going to change that to, let's move this window open so we can see fuel pressure. So we're going to do general purpose, enable this thing, and the pump should turn on, which it does, and we're reading 51 psi. Now we go over here, change this thing. So it's about about 46 psi. Zoom in there. Fuel pressure right there. About 46. So the way I wired my coils here, because I did the whole harness by myself, and I know it works because it ran on it before. I made this little quick disconnect on here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So basically I'll just unplug this, just back that. That way there's no spark getting into the engine. We'll crank it over, get the engine primed, check the oil again just to make sure, and then give it a start. Kick it over a little bit, just check the oil level. It went down a little bit, so just gonna add the rest of the add the rest of this one bottle, so that'll be a total of 6 quarts in there. Just so we make sure that we have a full engine here, full of oil, and no mistakes. Super nervous, by the way. Been working on this motor for almost 3 years now. Spent a lot of money with it. Just hope it works. Lots of time and money went into this damn project, so it's nerve-wracking, to tell you the least. So, alright, I'm gonna keep cranking it a little bit, just so we, make sure that the turbo at least has oil. Probably should pull the line off just to be sure. Pump it into a bucket, that way I know there's oil coming into it. But if I keep cranking it for a bit, it should be fine. So I'm gonna probably crank it like 3 or 4 times, and then see if it'll start. Only goes on one way. Good to go. Okay, let's give it a shot. That was the quickest fucking start I've ever heard. What? Oh my god. Guys, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, everything looks good. I would go ahead and you might have to key off, and it looks like you don't really have a check valve on the welding on, so it bleeds down fuel pressure pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't have a check valve. Should there be one?
It just helps with cold start because your initial crank pulse gives you the big squirt
Okay.
on the first revolution.
I
The
see.
only problem is you don't have any fuel in the rail to give you that on the first revolution.
Okay, I see.
So as the first revolution, the ECU will kick the fuel pump on, but that's after the fact. It already had put the big squirt in there or tried.
Okay.
But
Uh-huh.
you don't have any fuel for it to give you initial crank pulse, which is it's if you're in the carburetor stuff, it's like 2 pumps on the carb.
I see. Okay.
So you don't have that 2 pumps. So your cold start is going to be harder to start with no initial pulse. So basically, if it's really cold out, it might be beneficial to crank it while the pump is priming.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
The fuel. Yeah.
So, start it.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Maybe try it again.
Okay. Do you want me to key it off or just crank it?
You can just crank it.
Okay.
Nothing.
You wanted to. Almost.
Okay, give it more throttle. Kind of maybe wide open throttle it until it fires and let off the throttle right away.
Okay.
Okay. I think it just blended a little bit. You might want to you might have to keep it running once it fires.
You said keep my foot on the gas.
Yeah, you got to baby it a little bit, kind of bury it.
Okay.
Then go ahead and fire it up.
And I did set the fuel pressure at 47 because that's what we had it at the last tune.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that matters or if you want to change that or not.
No, that's fine for now.
Okay.
A little more time to it. Okay, go ahead and try it again.
When I tried tapping on the gas, it didn't really do much. Like before, it was a little more responsive than.
Try it again.
Okay. So yeah, I have to keep my foot on the pedal just a little bit, just to keep it up above like 1 grand or something.
Okay. Is the throttle body adjusted, or is that anything different, or is that still from this previous setup? Or
It's the same, but I did take it off. So I did and then I resynced the TPS though.
oh, okay, you didn't the set screw. Did you move that at all?
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, maybe I did. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, the throttle pulley might be a little more closed than it was originally.
Okay.
And so the idle control valve might not be, it might be trying to work a little hard.
she runs. So as you guys saw, I just gave my tuner a call because I wasn't sure on the cam sensor, so he set that up for me, got it fired up and idled for a bit, which is awesome. So just went through the car real quick. There's no leaks. There's a little bit of condensation coming out from the exhaust, but that's pretty normal. So anyway, I'm pretty excited. It freaking runs. After 3 years of building that motor, putting it together slowly, it freaking runs. So anyways, hopefully this weekend I can dial in the idle a little bit. He showed me how to do that. So we'll get that squared away, and then maybe we'll go for a test drive this weekend, but we'll see. My weekend is kind of busy, but I hope to get at least to go down the street a little bit. Awesome. All right, guys. See ya.